Hello, loyal listeners, and welcome back. And thank you for listening to Buckle Up with Bershan. We are here with another energy charged episode of Buckle Up with Bershan, your 30-minute take time to be inspired, empowered, and entertained. It's time to live your best life and celebrate. And what are we celebrating, you ask? You. Yes, you. So sit back and enjoy because today we're going to have the most amazing show ever. And it's called Power Women Who Have Powered Through. Now, this is so important to me because I coach women all around the world in London, Germany, Switzerland, Los Angeles, Chicago, Dallas, Washington, D.C., and New York City. And let me tell you, I always connect with women because we are so powerful beyond belief. And we power through more than you think we do. Dealing with heartache, breakups, divorce, bankruptcy, single moms, rising to the top as a single female, the only one in the room. That is our life. I've powered through after my divorce. I never knew I would ever get divorced because family is so important to me. And my relationship was so important to me. And when I got a divorce, it rocked my world and broke me down. But I had to step into my greatness. I had to pull my strength from inside myself and say, Bershan, you can do it. Don't let this take you down. Because I was depressed. I was crying. I was at home saying, why me? Like, I didn't want to be marked and getting too old. We all have this thing as a woman. We feel like we're getting too old. I didn't have a baby. And I was like, yet single again. But then I said, you know what? No, there's more to me in life. There's more than just being married. There's more to just thinking that the relationship is it. So I stepped into my own power and I said, Bershan, if I can do it, every woman out here can do it. We are amazing as women. We are stronger than we ever believe. So I just started to build my business. I started my own coaching business for corporations, for individuals, for soccer moms, I coach people all around the world. And I never, ever dreamt that this could happen to me. Speaking all around the world, coaching all around the world, growing my business to work with Fortune 100 and 500 companies. This is me. And let me tell you, if I can do it, you can do it too. And it's not just because of who I am. I came from a small suburb outside of Washington, D.C. My family came from the poor South and we made it. So if I can make it, you can too. So today's session is about powerful women who have powered through. And this hour is brought to you by Roundtable Wellness, a women-led cannabis company that supplies cannabis products to women to help them heal, help, and support their needs. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Hello, and welcome back, loyal listeners. Today we have an amazing woman, a friend, a boss lady. She is powerful in this Hollywood industry. I must give her all the praise. Her name is Cindy Cowan.
Hey.
Yes. Hello, Cindy. How are you?
It's so good to see you again.
I know. It is so good to see you. And let me tell you who Cindy Cowan is. She's an award-winning film producer. She's the co-founder of IEG, Initial Entertainment Group. She has produced Emmy-nominated films like Rent a Kid, If These Walls Could Talk, all amazing. Traffic, Oscar winner. Right. Yes. And Cindy is now in the beauty business. So this woman has done everything. And I must say, I honored Cindy Cowan at my Unstoppable Warrior Woman event in Los Angeles last year. I picked 5 amazing women in different industries, in the film industry, in the tech industry, in the health industry, in the music industry, in the fashion industry. And I read about her and I was just so happy to get her. Like, I had to fight to get Cindy because I just thought she was so amazing and everyone needs to know her name. So thank you again, Cindy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. I am so happy you are here.
Thank you.
Now, Cindy, I have to tell you, you do so much that I don't even know where to start. Because I'm like, because you know what? This episode is about powerful women,
Right.
and it's about showing women that we can do it,
Right.
helping women to know that it is possible. And you have shown us in life that it is possible. So first, I want to talk about this great quote that you sent me. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will be as one.
John Lennon is one of my favorites ever. I think his voice back then lends so much to what is happening today. And without dreams, what are we? The thing is, make your dreams a reality. And, the world should be as one. There's nothing else I can say about that. We're a fractured world right now. And my dream is that fracture becomes solid again and that there be peace in the world. So I could go on a soapbox about that. I'm incredibly charitable, as you know. I'm one of the, I'm sure there's a lot of us out there, but I work to make enough money so I can do charity. That's my passion. That's my life.
I love that. Wow.
So, yeah.
No, dreams are so important.
So important.
And I love that. And you've turned all your dreams into reality.
I have.
Yes, you have.
I have.
Now, how did you get into this film business? Because you're a guru, and I'm sure everyone wants to know that.
I know. I got in the film business by accident. I graduated with a degree in psychology, which comes in handy every day of my life. I took that infamous year off from school, which I'm not sure anybody should ever do because my infamous year off is still happening. I got a job with a CBS affiliate in Florida. I was dating at the time a guy that was in a band, so I needed to work at night. CBS kind of gave me the appetite for producing. They quickly kept promoting me, and I became one of the associate producers of the evening news in Florida, and that took me into songwriting sideways by accident.
Wow. Songwriting.
Yeah, songwriting was totally by accident. And my first song, 2 songs were on an album that went top 10 all throughout Europe. It was with a brand new producer named Simon Cowell. So Simon and I came up together. And
that's amazing.
Isn't that great? And his artist named Sunita. And it kind of opened me up into something that people don't realize that I ever did, which was songwriting. I then wrote for Howard Hewitt. He was with a group called Shalimar at the time.
Shalimar. Yes, we know
great,
Shalimar.
Right?
Yeah.
And a bunch of others. And then I just thought that, what am I doing? I was mostly a lyricist and could write melodies, but somebody, begged me to work at a company. I was also a runaway bride, I should add. So I moved to California, left everything I knew behind, entered waters I had no clue what I was doing, and got a job at a film company, learned everything I could from them, and then decided I could do this. And so I took every penny I had and back to myself. And started my own company.
Now, that's amazing. I want the listeners to hear this because nowadays people think they can do it overnight. They think they can look at a YouTube video or look on Instagram and learn the business. No, Cindy Cowan put her heart and soul and learned the business.
For all you listeners out there, I started doing everything. I was a PA. I did everything. I dropped packages off. I answered calls. Nothing was too small. And I tell that to any assistant or intern out there. You're as good as you can be. You can learn as much as you are going to put into it. I learned everything. And before I started my own company, I knew everything that I thought there was to know. I went on sets. I'd never been on a set in the film business before, but I did it. I got to know talent. I got to know everything. And then I backed myself. I literally put everything I had into it and started what became known as IEG. And 5 years later, we had 2 Emmy nominations, a Golden Globe, a People's Choice, and I sold the company on 4 Oscars.
Wow. Now listen to that. Wow,
Yeah,
wow, wow.
amazing.
You put everything into it. You put your heart and soul and your money into it, right? And you knew that was how you had to do it. You learned every part of the business. So that makes you successful.
Yes.
And that is important. So let me ask you, who was your mentor? Did you have a mentor?
I kind of didn't. I'll tell you, Well, I should take that back. My mentor I had never met at the time. So I looked up to Sherry Lansing, who was a woman that ran Paramount. I just thought she was one of the coolest women out there. Strangely, I feel like I know everybody and I've never met Sherry Lansing, but she's somebody that
Wow.
I would like to meet because I used her as a role model. The thing that spurred me on, and for the listeners out there, I don't know if you feel this way, I had everybody telling me what I couldn't do.
Yes.
And the more they told me what I couldn't do, the more I said, I'm just going to do it. And so for all the naysayers out there or people that say they've got haters or whatever you want to call them, use it. I didn't let it take me down. I let it lift me up. And so every single person said, you need to go back and get married. You need to do this. You need to do that. You'll never be a producer. You didn't go to film school. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You know what? Every time they told me no, I raised up a little bit more. And so it was like blowing up a balloon, and there was no way I was going to stop blowing that balloon up until it was full.
Happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Give me a high five
Right?
on that. Yes. I love this woman. She let her haters fuel her,
Yes.
catapult her to success.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. And that's what you have to do, because people will tell you you can't do
Yep.
it. People will say you're not good enough. You don't have the skills. You don't have the connections, and you showed them.
Yep.
Let Cindy Callan show
Yep.
you how. Yes, I love that. So now you were the first female distributor in a very male-dominated
Yeah.
business. What was that like?
I didn't even realize I was the first female distributor because I was blind to sex, so to speak. I didn't really realize that I was it. There was no others. So when I started, it was kind of interesting and confusing. People say, what is it like? I used it to my advantage. Here's what I tell most women, especially women back then in a male-dominated world. The doors are going to open because you're a girl. Now you got to be smart enough to stay in the room. So it's one thing to get in the room.
Just say that again.
Yep.
I want you to say that again to the listeners, because that's powerful.
It is. The doors are always going to open because you're a girl. They might not open for the reasons that you think they're going to open
Yeah,
for.
exactly.
There's a lot of other reasons they're going to open.
A lot.
But now you got to be smart enough to stay in the room. And so that was it. I mean, I'd walk in the room and people would say, who was she with to get here? Why is she here? Is she going to bring our coffee? Or, I mean, it was such a male-dominated world back then. Nobody assumed why I was there. And then they realized, no, I was the owner of the company and I knew what I was doing. And then the awards started happening. And then one of the top banks that had only backed New Line and Miramax turned around and backed me. And nobody could understand why. We were this brand new company. And by the end of it, nobody could say anything except for, how'd you do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you show them. Now, was it lonely at the top because you don't have any other person to really bounce your ideas off of and talk to, really? I mean, as being the only woman, was it lonely? Did sometimes you want to give up and give in and say, I'm done with this? Or like I said, even at the top, you were just pushing through?
There's some moments that I remember being with a bunch of very powerful men in this town. And I was sitting at a table with them one night, and they were all talking about different girls, and not in the most flattering of ways. But remember, I have a psychology background, so they could talk to me like I'm one of the guys. And I remember all of a sudden one day going, wow, they're talking about them like they're another species, but I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And that was a moment where I really had to say, wait, whoa, like I might be able to converse with the guys. I might be in the room with the guys. I might be able to whatever, but I'm not one of the guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just me. The other thing that I had to deal with was my personal life. I was engaged at the time, and although he was in the film business too, and at the time we were a power couple, the more successful I became, the more we kind of, I think he didn't know how to deal with me. I was still the same feminine girl. I'm raised very Southern. At the end of the day, I know this is going to piss a lot of viewers off, but I'm a Southern girl. And as much as I like my own success, I don't want to walk in front of a man. I want to walk beside a man.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, it's okay if my man walks in front of me. I'm a girl, and I want to maintain being very feminine. But some men can't handle if you become more successful than them. It tends to emasculate them, and it's something I never want to do. And it's something, though, that you have to contend with. And it's not, I think what I had to realize that it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with them. and their own ego.
You're so right, because even in my field and my success, I'm not trying to emasculate a man. It's just that I love doing what I love doing, and you do too. I'm a Southern girl, right? So I love being the woman. I love the team. I love us working together. So it's not that, but I love that you brought this up, because it's not you, it's them.
It's them.
They're insecure. They are the ones with the issues.
And I would always look at it that, can't we do this together? We're a team, just like you said. We're a team. I don't know why it has to be, it's mine and you can come with me. I want it to be the two of us.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, the phones are lighting up now, because this is a good topic.
We're going on a topic.
I know. We're going on a good topic. Okay, let's go to the caller. Hello.
Oh, hi. My name's Marie. I'm from Alabama.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. My question is, you inspire me. So I just wanted to know, who inspires you?
Is this you or me?
Is this for Cindy or me, Bershan?
Oh, yeah. So, both of you can answer. Cindy's the guest, and I was really interested to know who inspires her, because she inspires me.
Oh, thank you very much. And by the way, Alabama, it's one of the states I haven't been, but I want to go.
Oh,
yeah, I went to.
Yeah, you have to.
I definitely want to. I'm a Southern girl, so I've got to visit all the states. I said earlier, Sherry Lansing was a woman that pioneered. She was a woman that ran Paramount Studios, and it's interesting because I've met so many different women in my life, but I've never met her. And one of the other women that inspires me is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That woman, literally, God bless. I pray for her every night when I go to bed. She has to live another 20 years.
Please.
Right?
We need her too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, thank you. And just Oprah Winfrey inspires me. I'm a Southern girl too.
Yeah.
And just her story from being, from the South and pushing through boundaries and walls and making it happen with everything against her.
Yeah.
That's a woman who really inspires me.
Right?
Yes. Love Oprah Winfrey. So thank you.
Thank you.
You sound
so much.
lovely. Thank
Yes,
you.
we have
Alabama.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, we have another caller. Thanks so much. Hello, how are you? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Good. This is Michelle calling from Grove, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow, Oklahoma. Look at you.
Right?
Okay, thank you. What is your question?
Well, this question is for Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy, you are an incredible inspiration. I used to live in Los Angeles, and I come from that era of the men dominating the business. And I love every inspiration you have about John Lennon. I think that's amazing.
Right.
My question is, coming up on Sunday is the anniversary of John Lennon's death.
Wow.
Is there any inspiration you have to possibly put a project together?
Interesting you say that. John, he means so much to me. And if there was any possible way of doing anything with him, the Beatles are so careful of their library. It's shocking that movie Yesterday, that they were allowed to use any of his music. But I have to say, as a songwriter, as I was one, to listen to his lyrics, and again, that song Imagine, everybody should listen to that song every day.
So beautiful.
We are actually doing a music-based film, though. Not John Lennon, we are doing the NSYNC biopic with TriStar, and it's a fascinating story. I don't know how much I can go into, but it is told from the point of view of 3 girls who basically left school their freshman year, they went on The Price is Right in hopes of winning the RV so they would have a roof over their head and wheels so they could follow their favorite band around for the year. And when I tell you these women are inspiring, it's all true.
Wow.
Yeah, get ready for this one. That's about all I can say without giving too much of the story away, but it's fascinating what they did.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. I really want to get into music and film. I just really do.
Oh, I love it. So you have to follow Cindy Cowan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling and asking. And just imagine all the people. living as one. It'd
Exactly.
be amazing.
Exactly. And my birthday is on Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Happy
Oh,
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank
you, ladies.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye. So, Cindy, I mean, this is amazing, music and television.
Yes.
So you brought up Simon Cowell. Did he inspire you in any way? Did you guys work together on the way to the top?
We didn't know each other. He decided to produce, I think they were actually dating at the time, an artist named Sunita. That was the first artist he produced. And one of the first songs they bought was mine. So we've never met. I'd love to meet him one day, but indirectly our careers came up together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty inspiring. Now, you talk about these films that are coming up. You said, so you have 2 movies that are set up at Sony that will go next year, as well as a TV show based on Ellis Island, a political thriller, and a faith-based film. Tell me about them.
So we start shooting in Cape Town, I believe, the first Sony movie, which is a spooky film. It's a true story based on the first exorcism that was ever broadcast live on TV in the 70s. About 24 million people tuned in to watch it, and it's what happened to this family once the cameras turned off. It was before the movie The Exorcist came out. It was before anybody knew anything about ghosts. The only thing in that realm was Casper the Friendly Ghost, and these were not friendly.
Right.
So that is the first movie going at Sony. The second, as I just said, is loosely based on In Sync. It's the story of these 3 women. And then very political. I don't think we'll go into politics today because it's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing.
But I'm very political. And so Ellis Island is very near and dear to my heart. Both of my grandparents went through Ellis Island. If people don't know about Ellis Island, it's an island right off of New York City where all the Europeans used to come through in hopes of coming to America to escape whatever travesties they were trying to escape at the time. It mirrors so much today and what's happening with immigration that it's something I definitely had to tell. It's one of the best scripts I've ever read. So that takes us into a foray into television. And then the faith-based world is intriguing to me. So I got the life rights of a gentleman who went to war, actually lost his legs over there, lost his live to will until somebody came walking into his room one day and said, "Get up." And he was like, "Hell out of here." And they said, "No, get up." And this stranger gave this man the impetus not only to learn how to walk again, but he set his mind that he was going to run, and he became the first amputee to run and win the Ironman competition, which is one of the hardest races that you can do. And he's now one of the biggest faith-based speakers in the world. He actually goes by the name of Iron Will, and that's written by the man who wrote Point Break. So, so that one's going to, and then we're going into the world of reality, into something that's very near to me as well as Ellis Island. I don't think it's any shock to anybody to hear my viewpoints in the world is going a little bit dark right now. And I think we collectively have to do whatever we can to stay in the light. Mm-hmm. And so I have created a show called Seekers. And Seekers we're going to go all around the world, and we're going to seek the different mediums that people will do to stay in the light. And it can be anything. And so I'm super excited.
What do you mean by that? To stay in the light? Tell me what you mean by that. So it
can be anything. It can be as simple as you do yoga. It can be that you practice your religion or your faith. It could be you might go to Peru and do ayahuasca. You might want to be in a sensory deprivation tank. You might meditate. You might go to Bali to seek a spiritual healer.
Right.
There's so many different modalities out there. There's different forms of shamanism. There's so many different things. And once I opened up to this, it was shocking, all the different stuff that I was hearing about and learning. And I think we all need to share any way to stay positive in this world right now.
And I love that because every day I wake up and I turn on my phone, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, there's a shooting. There's someone killing someone. It's starting to turn so dark.
It's dark.
I spoke at a high school and the kids said to me, "I'm scared to come to school." I was like, wow, when I went to school, no one was afraid to come to school. We would go and we would play ball and we would run to school. Like this young girl said, and I said, "What are your fears?" And she said, I'm afraid to come to school.
I bet.
And that was almost made me tear up because a young child, 9, 10 years old, is afraid to go to where she has to learn, to where she spends 8 hours a day, to where she has friends. She doesn't know if she's going to make it home.
Yep.
That's the life we're in. So this Seekers reality show, I think it's brilliant because we need the light.
Right. So hopefully we'll spark anybody that might be going dark to find some kind of modality to raise their vibrations and stay a little bit more in the light. It's all about positivity.
Oh, I love it.
We have to just find it however we can.
Please change television for positivity.
I'm going to try.
I am so tired of the big fight, the big reality show of downplaying women and putting us down and making us seem like, hoes and whores. And, we don't have any type of positive light around us. I'm just tired of it. So thank you for that. And we have another caller, Cindy.
Great.
Yes. Hello. I'm inspired by Cindy. She's just keeping me on my feet with all of her great content. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Ian Lenhart calling in from Santa Monica.
Hi, Ian.
How's it going? Yeah,
Ian, I'm going to give you a big hello.
I know, right? Santa Monica.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in and ask a quick question for Cindy. And I want to know, who is your favorite person you have ever worked with?
That's a good one.
God, that's a good one. There's so many good ones I've worked with. I loved working with Cameron Diaz because at the height of her career, she was just a down-to-earth girl. And she always came to set with a smile. And she really just made that set unbelievably incredible. And I'm also going to say I really like to work with Christian Slater. I worked with Christian at kind of a dark time in his life. He was just coming out of rehab and had just gone through a little bit of legal problems. And I have to say, his mental ability to pop back and to learn from it and to go on and become Christian Slater, that's now winning Emmys and is just back with a force. He didn't shy back from talking about it. And he was amazing to work with. I'm also going to plug U2 because they did the title song to the movie Traffic, and I'm a huge Bono fan. So,
oh, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Bono. Yeah. Yes.
So I think those are the three.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, you were talking about the caller said someone that touched you. What film or television show were you attached to that really touched your soul? Because you're so spiritual and you're so connected. What project did you do that really, really you connected with?
I think what I'm really going to connect with is the one coming is Seekers. I literally cannot wait to get into that film and do that because I think it's necessary and needed. And, in the past, every film was my baby. If I put my name on it and, I find it, I work with it, I massage it, I'm sitting on the set and you're watching it complete. I have all these filmmakers coming into my office and sometimes they come in and they're embarrassed and they say, well, we did a movie, but it was $75,000. It's nothing like yours. Or it's $200,000. It's nothing like yours. That's their baby. And the fact that they got that baby off the ground, they birthed it,
yes,
and it got made. There is every reason for a film not to get made these days. Every reason. There are egos, there are agents, there are managers, there are lawyers, there's so many reasons that it's never going to happen. So I think every film I've ever done has touched me in some way. It really has, because they're my babies.
Oh, I love that. And this is the last question. How does a powerful, wonderful woman like Cindy Cowan stay grounded? I mean, you've done so much, Emmys, Oscars, you're traveling the world, you're beautiful.
Oh,
I mean, I follow you on Instagram and Facebook. You always put out positivity. You're great at supporting women. You elevate women. How do you stay grounded?
Thank you. I've always been incredibly charitable, and it's weird. My grounding is giving. And I know some people are going to go, really? She's not going to say she's meditating, she's sitting in a bathtub, she's lighting a candle. I do all that stuff. But I stay grounded by giving to people that are less fortunate. And it always touches me to ways that I can't even explain. A bunch of people came over to my house Thanksgiving and they were like, you have food left over. And I said, no, we don't. Because the next day I went and I picked 2 people that were so deserving. There was a gentleman that I know that is not well. This is probably his last Thanksgiving. And I got to spend the day after by giving him a turkey and sitting with him and discussing his life. And it was amazing for him and for myself. And I gave the other one to somebody who had lost his family, his wife and his children, and was alone for the first time. And, whether it's going on a street and befriending a homeless person, and God bless, we need to befriend and help these people right now, or going to a third world country and bringing them food or doing whatever. By learning and seeing the misfortunes of others, it keeps me grounded. It keeps me, because any day, we all think that will never happen to us.
And it can.
It can happen in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
And so let's treat people the way that we want to be treated. And trust me, you guys, if you do this and you leave your footprint in the world, you'll always stay grounded.
Oh, I love that. Wow. Thank you so much,
Thank
Cindy
you for
Cowan, for
having
coming.
me.
You are amazing. How can people find you?
You can find me on Cindy Cowan 1000 at Instagram and on Twitter. It's just Cindy Cowan on Facebook. And my website is www.cowanen.com.
Oh, thank you so much. And you can find me, Bershan Shaw, at Bershan Shaw, BERSHAN, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and www.bershan, BERSHAN.com. Thank you so much,
Thank
Cindy.
you.
And thank you for joining Buckle Up with Bershan, where you're going to live your best life. No excuses. This hour was brought to you by Round Table Wellness, a cannabis company who provides products to help you heal, support, and energize yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Until next time.